And Bernie, you get the last word, and you can show us your leaflet, as we say.
I must admit, I watched especially the first session this morning, and I think it's sort of overwhelming, really, because I listened to the same thing coming back. And as the man said here, 10 years ago, he's listening to the same coming back. Over here are the employers, over here are the educators, and somehow never the twain shall meet. Now, at the ITTP, the initial members of the ITTP have all been in the sort of nitty-gritty sharp end of television, camera, sound, and lighting. There are many, many other areas, but you've got to start somewhere, and we are only us. We need to be more. So what we've decided, along with continuing personal development, which we are always open to offer, not us personally necessarily, but you pick up the phone or you email Graham and you say, have you got someone who can teach this? Of course we have. We have a whole industry full of people who can teach this. Lots of them are very experienced in training as well as in actually doing their job. But on top of that, we've got the skills list. More or less it's there. Actually, I could almost write it myself. I mean, my colleagues here know a lot more about what they do than I do, but I could almost write the basic skill list, and it always starts with Ohm's law. I don't know why, but it always starts with Ohm's law. So we thought what we'll do is we'll try and set up this ITTP approved skills scheme. Ta-da. And what it should do is that we will offer a set of skills and also a method of examining those skills. So that when people they do their course, they might have gone to a skill set setup course with the green tick, or they might have not. Actually, I'm not allowed to say we don't care. I'm allowed to say we don't need to know. Graham tells me I'm not allowed to say we don't care. But actually, it doesn't matter, because at the level where you might take the exam, it doesn't matter where you learn Ohm's law or whatever other things that Barry needs to know. It doesn't matter how you found out. What you need to say is, I know this, and prove it to somebody. And that's what we see as being the thing. It's like, if you were a plumber, no one cares where you went to school. It's just, can you pass City and Guilds grade, whatever it is. It's a bit more, back up in the professions, a bit more tricky. But certainly there's a whole range of professions that have done this already. No one cares where you went to school. Everyone cares that you can do that. And that matters to all the people sitting here. So that's what we thought we'd do next. It's very slow, this, because actually we're a group of unpaid people who are largely doing something else. If it was a television production back in the day when I was at the BBC and someone said, can you sort this out in the next couple of months? Here's £500,000. Would be running by now. But we don't have that. We just have us. And that's where the sticking point is at the moment. The sticking point is, I've got a little list that serious people have put together. Now it needs some way of implementing that list. And we all of us have an interest, I think, now, in that list being implemented and those skills being tested so that when people go out to the employers, they can have what we all agree, because mostly actually we do without even looking at the sheet of paper, we all agree that what they need are these, the equivalent of City and Guild da-di-da for a plumber. You're not going to have the plumber in your house who says, well, I hit a few pipes last week, so I can do it. What you care about is they've got this. And the employers want that as well. So the employers are all up for this. The guys who are on area from BT Sport and from Sky are very strong on supporting this. That's why they're here. They're very active on supporting this. But they haven't, it's like Bob Geldof, give us your money. Now we need an infrastructure to make this happen. And infrastructure isn't just about money. It's about resources. Someone said, okay, you can have £500,000, but you can't have £500,000. What you can have is this office and the share of this secretary and these educators who will do so-and-so and set up this because they understand it, because that's their job. And that's where we need to go next. So as you walk out for your posh lunch out there, you will get one of these. And it tells you about the concept we've set up. It tells you about where we're coming from. And it tells you about where we think we're going. And it also gives you the address and the email address, because now we need you, basically. We need a corporate body or group of corporate bodies to offer the infrastructure that we need to make this work. And I have to say, all the people, it could be Sky, but I can't see Sky doing that. They're into their own thing. I think it might need to be an educational body But I don't really know because I'm a television producer, not an educator. And that's all of our problem at this point. We are television producers and cameramen and blah, blah, blah. We're not educators. You're educators. You know that bit. So now we need you to help us set it up.
Okay, Bernie, thank you very much.
Scheme. Please
Oh,
give the name.
the Approved Skills Scheme.
The ITTP Approved Skills Scheme, when you go out to lunch,
Yes.
please grab one, take it
I
away.
must say, don't get up yet, because I have to give you a couple of important announcements. Thank you very much to our panel. Don't forget we have the reception with Sonny after the conference, and you'll get directions as to how to go there. And if you haven't signed up already, you do need to get your name on the list, which you can do in the room at the back. Where the coffee was, and Blackmagic Design truck is outside. Now, it says here, Blackmagic have their demonstration OB truck in the garden. In the garden.
Is that there?
To encourage you to get, to get some fresh air and see the very latest 4K kit. You can get access to the garden through a door towards the back of the room to the right, which is being indicated by Simon at the back there. So if you want to go and see some up-to-the-minute kit, then please go and do that. And finally, have a great lunch and be back promptly at 2:15. And thanks again to our panel. Well done. Thank you.